know what you're all thinking when I ask, does size matter? And we'll work our way up to that. Or should I say, down to that. But for now, let's talk about size itself. Whether it's the size of your bank account, your confidence, your goals and drive, what's most important to you?
That whoever I'm with has to have, or I would like if they have some kind of goals or drives.
Confidence is incredibly sexy, of course. It is total turn on. I like someone who's a challenge, and confidence is definitely something that can be challenging, and I enjoy that.
I would start off with goals and drive, followed by confidence, and then end it with a person who has success and financial security. I think if you have goals and drive and confidence, success and financial security will follow.
I really don't care if somebody is successful per se or has financial security, because like I have my own money, like I don't need anybody else to be like successful for me. But
when I'm dating someone, the things that are most important to me is, number one, goals and drive. 2 would be confidence, because I feel like you can't complete your goals without confidence. And 3 would be a person with success and financial stability.
If my significant other's goals and drive either match mine, either for long term or in the short term, then that's a good sign that our relationship is going to work out.
I feel like I'm up here, like it doesn't even fit. But I feel like if I'm with somebody else that's up here too, then I don't know. It's like I fight with people a lot, so I don't think that's a good thing. Like they have to be kind of like down here or like really down there. So then I'm up here, and then it's just a good balance. You know what I mean?
So the most important part in a significant other for me in order would be confidence and goal oriented, and then success. Because how much you make is not how much your personality is. As long as you're not making $2 an hour, then we're good.
So I know that it's really important to a lot of people, and if I'm in a relationship with someone and we don't have matching goals / drive or confidence, then I'm going to require some financial security.
This is not another cliche conversation or battle of the sexes, but when it comes to finances and relationships, we know it can get tricky. So skip the mixer on this one, pour yourself something strong, and let's see what's really going on.
I'm Diana. Current status is complicated.
Okay.
Dating somebody, but I wouldn't call it a relationship.
Okay.
Hopefully you don't see this.
My name is Cynthia. I am in a relationship. It's been about 8 years, and he's sitting right over there, looking so cute. So.
I'm Chris, single right now. Just got out of a 1-year relationship.
And my name is Eric, and your relationship with this beautiful lady over here.
Nice. Okay, well, thank you all for joining us. This should be an interesting conversation. So, the question is, does size matter? And before we whip out the rulers, we're actually going to talk about money. So, let me just say, there's no wrong answer. We want honesty. It doesn't have to be necessarily for this relationship, just any relationship or, view that this is all for. Basically, we know there's a lot of stereotypes associated with finances in relationships. So which of them are true, which of them are not, and maybe they are, maybe they aren't sometimes. So let's just get started. All right, so for women who make significantly more than the partner that they're with, how do you think that that's viewed in society now that we're in 2015?
I think it's more common now. I think the issue comes with pride, and I'm a victim of it.
Okay.
If she was making more than me, which she was for a while, it is hard. It's difficult because you want to be the guy taken care of. You don't want to be being taken care of. At least that's how it is for me.
Yeah.
I've had both ways, to where she was making more, and then I've had to support female as far as. So I think it's more of an insecurity to where it's like when you feel like I can't believe she's making more than me. Like I gotta actually get out there and get out. But I mean, at the same time, it's great to see a female actually going through the same thing that you're going through and making more.
It's the pride, because of the pride, it makes you, it kind of motivates you, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta get out there and I gotta get my money right.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's a positive. What about as far as like how you're viewed in your group of friends? Because I've, you know, had incidents where I know friends and, you know, like people talk. Like, are you viewed as the low man on the totem pole?
I got asshole friends. To where they say it's a good thing if you, it's messed up to where it's like it's a good thing if, oh man, take it, she's supporting you. But I was raised a little bit different to where I don't go to that point to where it's like I have somebody that supports me. I'd rather be supportive to somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's just bad habits to talk about your finances to your friends in general.
Right.
I would never tell my friends what she's making, what I'm making, or who's making more, or who's providing what. That's between us.
It's true.
As far as I'm concerned, we're the team and they're not in it. So,
What do you think, ladies?
I would say that as far as the friends thing that you're talking about, in my past relationships, they would not really know our financial status, so we didn't make it a known thing, either that or it wasn't a big enough difference for them to know. So usually that's not even an issue.
If it was a big enough difference so that they were aware, do you think it would then be a conversation?
I think it would be with family more so than friends.
Right.
I think you're right.
Just because like family wants to like see like as a woman saying like, you know, that he's supposed to be taking care of you and you're making more money than him, then I think it would be more of an issue with that.
but I think that's a specifically female thing.
It really is.
Because if you were making millions of dollars, my family wouldn't have a problem with it. Like, I know I wouldn't. I mean, I would want to make more than you, but
Yeah, and even if you was broke, they still would.
yeah.
It's just like it's
Yeah. But I could totally see, like, you know, a young lady with a family, like, hey, he's not making, I mean, you're working at McDonald's, he ain't making that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that makes sense. I would tell my sisters that. He's a bum. I mean, if he can't do better than what you're doing right now and you're struggling, like, you need to move up. You need to look up in life, not below. You know? You need to look this way or this way, never this way.
But I mean, you had just said like at a point in your relationship, like you guys have not been exactly equal. So what if does it matter if you're, you know, would you tell your sister the same thing?
The only time it would, for me, the only time it would matter is if it mattered to her. Like, if I wasn't making enough to the point where she had to, like, discuss it with someone else to get some of that stress off of her shoulders, then it's a problem, you know? I mean, in a relationship, the best relationships are when you meet halfway. It's not always going to happen, especially financially, because, you know, there's different careers and stuff like that, which is totally fine. But, I mean, as long as you guys are able to talk things through and work it out, because I feel like me and her are very good at that. We're very good at discussing our finances and having a plan.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, it's just a plan.
Communication.
Because I work production, so sometimes I'll work for 6 months and I'll make amazing amounts of money. And then when that job's done, I don't necessarily work right away. So then I literally am bringing nothing to the table for like a month, 2 months, and then she's making the money. But because we discuss everything beforehand, it's like a plan.
Yeah, there's no surprises.
Yeah, there's no surprises. So it's all about communication.
So let's say, you know, that the roles were flipped, that you're entering into a relationship knowing that as a woman you're providing more and he's bringing less to the table. Is that something right off the bat, you know that that's the case? Is that something that you're still willing to enter into?
That I'm making more than him.
Significantly. Like, we're not talking about, you know, like you make 50, she make, or, you know, he makes 50, you make 60. To be honest, that doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, that's just good.
You know, like $30,000 more a year.
I think it would be more based off of like if he expected me to always pay for everything, then that would be an issue.
Okay.
Because, like, if I'm making more money, that's fine because I want to make more money. But if I was always expected to pay all the bills and you have to like pay the vacations and
Like
stuff
when
like
you
that.
guys go out to dinner.
Go out to dinner, like I'm expected to pay. Like
Yeah.
no, that's not okay.
That feels a little bit funny, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody wants to be treated. And it's naive to say that being in a relationship just because you make more money, you know? I mean, if I was making significantly less than her, I would make it a point to treat her.
Okay.
You know what I mean? To show her that the money that I do have, I would spend it on you rather than on myself. Just to show you, like, it's not about the money.
Yeah.
I've been in that situation where, you know, I was with somebody that was making significantly less. And I knew that going in. But I think always when you start off something and you don't know what's going to grow into a relationship yet, I mean, you're still kind of like, you know, it's balanced. Like you pay for sometimes, and I me knowing that I was making more, I would just pay a little bit more of the time. It was like he didn't like it, but the fact, you know, it's like sometimes, yeah, like I want to go do stuff. I don't want to eat at home all the time, you know. So it's just something that I don't mind because I wanted their company. I think it's the same as a guy, you know. I know society expects the male to pay more, but I think that if a man wants your company, if you can't pay for something, they will offer, you know, to pay for you, you know, if they want your company.
As men, do you feel like that, you know, in that situation, you know, like I've heard a lot of women, well, I want to go out, so just because you necessarily can't afford it, like, let's go anyway. Do you feel like that's stepping on your toes a little bit?
I mean, it brings out the truth. It brings out an insecurity, like, to where you like, damn, do I have it?
But aren't you happy though? Like, wouldn't you be happy that, hey, we want your company enough that we're willing to pay for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
Be honest.
I mean, okay, well, I mean, sometimes it's like, okay, let's just say.
I'd rather
it's not
stay home.
easy to be okay with it.
But
It's
I mean,
not.
like, yeah.
And I have to say, it is a society.
type of
It's the
thing,
pressure
yeah, to
from
where
that.
you really
Like,
have to-
I want to be the one taking care of her. I don't want to be taken
I
care
always
of.
want to be.
Like I've gotten a lot better about it, but I used to demand to pay at least half of it because the thing is, I don't want anything hold over my head. Like I kind of viewed money as power.
Yeah.
You know, if they buy you a dress, they now have the say of when you wear that, exactly. You know, so just to maintain that
That's not
balance,
even
I'd like to.
money. Who has the money? That's like a power thing. Like,
Well,
That's a
money
pride
is
thing
power.
for her. That's what that is. That's what it sounds like.
But
It sounds
money
exactly
is
the way
power,
I feel.
you know?
Yeah.
So the thing is, if to certain people, I've now learned to be a little bit better about that, you know? But it used to be like months into like an actual relationship before I let them pay for a dinner.
really.
Yeah.
Be brutally honest. Have any of you ever entered into a relationship based on finances?
No.
I've never heard.
I have not.
Well, not. I mean, you know what I mean? It was
The other way
I was-
around?
Yeah, it was attractive that I had a lot of money.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it wasn't real. It was just more so me, like like you said, me demanding and me actually, like, controlling
Okay,
everything.
so you had full control.
Yeah, and it wasn't cool. Like, you know, it was a reality check after everything ended. Like, this is not what you need. Like,
As women who have been in situations where you are the breadwinner for the time being, do you feel a different role? Do you feel like, you know, you have more leadership or you can kind of call the shots?
I do think I have more leadership and I have more control over what bills are being paid,
Okay.
like priority over like going out or spending on shopping or something. So I would definitely say yes, I would have more leadership and control over that.
Okay. What about you, Diana, in the situations that you've been in?
Obviously, you know, I'm not going to pay for something that I didn't want to go to in the first part. I would only suggest things that I wanted to do, you know. So yes, in a way, money does play a role because if I'm paying for it, obviously, you know, I have to approve it. But I don't think I've ever really been in a situation like as far as like which bills to pay or which has priority because, you know, I just haven't been in that situation where we shared the bills in the first place.
Yeah.
So.
You know, as two women who are seeking substance or in relationships of substance, you know, what is the effect of that man with money right off the bat? Does it work? Does it sometimes work? Should they just stop trying?
I think it works for some women. But if they're seeking something serious or of substance, it doesn't work. Because like I said, in this particular instance, I'm thinking about where there was a huge difference. I found it to be completely like a turn off, you know, the flashiness, you know, and the funny thing is this person complained about the type of women that he was meeting, and I was like, well, maybe it's because that's what you're attracting by the way you're acting. That's the type of women that you're attracting because you're flaunting it, thinking that, you know, it's gonna help you, and sure, it helps you, but with what type of women?
Yeah.
If something is real, money really doesn't make that much of a difference, because at the end of the day, it's like how much heart, how much substance is there? Because if somebody, a millionaire, right, could be giving you all these gifts, but guess what? He has enough money to do that to 3-4 other girls or more, you know. So there's no realness in that. Somebody who's not making anything, but they will give me whatever, you know, get a teeny little gift. They get a bubblegum machine and give me a gift. That has more meaning than somebody that will give me like something.
How long will that bubblegum machine gift? How long is that going to work?
So you're looking at it the wrong way.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking at it from a very
California way, yeah.
I'm looking at it. I don't think so. I think I'm looking at it from a very real perspective. I just want
usually
us
you
to
won't be having that issue
start
though.
seeing outside of, you know, it's not just money, but at the end of the day, money is related to a lot of different aspects in a relationship.
Of course.
Yeah. The expectation is kind of unfair at the beginning. I really do feel like it's unfair. Like a guy has to be, you know what I mean?
There is an expectation.
But what if they
right?
wanted to go someplace and they paid for half of it?
That's what I'm saying. Well, that's different. That's
Well, I haven't had that experience until I met this one.
What were you going to say, Chris?
What is the expectation? There's always an expectation between women. I feel that there's always an expectation.
At least at the very beginning.
At the
Yeah,
beginning,
if I
there's
were
always an
to
expectation.
first start dating, I wouldn't want to pay half.
Me neither.
And I feel like
That's what I'm saying.
99% of women, I've met maybe one other person who's like you, you know? But when she's on a date, and she's looking at this person to go forward, she's always expecting him to pay.
But and yours is on expectation of, I don't want him to think that I'm going to sleep
Exactly.
with him.
A lot of women who say, let's go Dutch, it's, because it's a fair thing to do, or, you know, there's a lot of women now, I'm an independent woman, I want to go half. I've honestly, that's the first time I've heard, I want to go half because I don't want him to expect anything.
But that's a fair thing
It's
too.
very
But it's
fair.
always an expectation. Yeah.
At what point would you say, you know what, this has failed?
You know,
Wait, the relationship has failed, or he has failed as a person?
He has failed as a person. I mean, if he fails, your relationship, I would imagine, is not going to be at its best. So, I mean, we can take relationship off the table.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think gender can be off the table. Because to me, I feel like if somebody fails as a man, the same thing makes them fail as a woman.
Really?
Yeah, but if
I don't
a
think
man
there's-
is living with his parents still, it's not as bad as a woman living with her parents.
That's crazy.
I've dated
That
guys
is
who
very
live with
true.
their parents.
Yeah, but the comparison.
But it's a
The
big difference. It's
comparison is
crazy.
different.
Yeah.
A woman
I'm
doesn't.
not gonna
A woman
It's
is
more
deemed
so
a failure at
comfortable,
30
yeah.
with her parents. A man is absolutely looked at as a failure. At 30.
Yeah, that's guaranteed. Even in a man's
Are we talking about
perspective, that's no matter what.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I mean,
no
you
matter
look at
what,
a
if you're
female.
30 and at your parents'
I don't
house,
know
there's
why.
nothing you can say to a woman. Even if you're making money, there's something wrong with you. There's something about you that you're not
That you
telling me.
ain't trying to get out.
Even if you're making good money, there's something about you.
Why
I mean, there
are
was a
you
whole
with your
movie based on
mama?
it. I think Bradley Cooper was the lead. Like, seriously.
But that's happened to me. I've
You know what I'm
dated somebody
talking
who was in
Matthew
their 30s
McConaughey.
and lived
Matthew
in that.
Was,
There
oh
we go.
yeah, that
You
was.
know what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
he
Thank
stuck
you.
with his mom for a while.
Yeah.
You know what?
There's something wrong with your personality if you
I have
actually,
the perfect example. I'm not going to say who it is out of respect.
as a man.
But I think the biggest thing is someone who's comfortable with someone else doing things for them makes them a failure. And that's what it is. As long as you are
Whether it's
trying,
your
you're not a
mother,
failure
yeah.
because until you stop trying, that's what makes you a failure. And I've had somebody in my life to show me exactly what that's like.
The pity party game.
Yeah, and honestly, it's been a blessing. When I was growing up, it wasn't. But it's been a blessing because I saw exactly what I don't want to be. So no matter how many times I failed at things, because I failed at quite a few things, and everybody does, I've learned to never stop trying because of this person. You know what I mean? And I think that's what makes a failure. The second you become comfortable with someone else doing for you,
And stop
and
trying.
you stop doing,
I
you're a
agree.
failure.
Well, let's go around to conclude and just like top two. What's the most important to you in a successful relationship for you personally? We'll start with you.
Most important. I think trust is absolutely by far the most important. Because if you can't trust somebody, then there's no reason to be with them at all. You have to give them your trust. If somebody cheats on you and you get back with them, you have to give them your trust. It makes sense that you'd be iffy, but if you do not trust them, you're just gonna drive yourself crazy and end up screwing up your own relationship.
Definitely.
Communication and trust is the biggest things for
Those
me.
are good. Chris?
I definitely agree with communication. I agree with everything, but I'm just saying, as far as mine, I think communication and confidence, honestly. Because if you're not confident in the person that you're with, you're gonna be wishy-washy every day.
Confidence leads into
A lot.
everything.
Yeah. If you can't wake up tomorrow and think the same way you thought tonight, it's an insecurity that's gonna pop up between either one of you. Yeah. So,
I think respect and honesty. Like, I don't want to be talked down to if there's something that he didn't like. I don't want to be called names and blah blah blah. And honesty is like, can go with money, can go with trust, can go with respect, can
Every
go
aspect
with
of it.
every
Everything,
aspect of
yeah.
it. So I think those two would be my biggest ones.
I actually was gonna say also respect and communication. The respect also ties in with the trust or and honesty as well. If you have respect for your partner, you're going to be honest with them. You're gonna trust them. If you respect them as a partner, as your partner, and also definitely communication. That's key. Like this episode, you wanted to bring up the whole money and like gender roles and stuff like that. If this puts a different dynamic or spin on things, I've dated both men and women, and I deal with it the same way. I've know that, but that's with me. People might view it differently. The way I deal money situations or going out or whatever, for me, it's pretty much the same. If I expect it from a man, I expect it from a woman.
Okay.
And vice versa.
So does size matter with money? I think ultimately it does. It just matters a little bit differently to everybody
it
else.
really does,
Yeah,
no matter what.
to each of us differently. So thank you guys for participating and opening up and letting me push you a little bit.
Patron.
So thanks, guys.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been great.
All right, time for a temperature check. Are you doing okay out there? Look, the bottom line is this. If your relationship works for you, a big middle finger to the ones who say it's wrong or that you've in some way failed. Those people are what we call money smoke, period. You don't walk away from them, you run. Men, know that there will always be a woman to believe in you as long as you have a hunger to succeed. So don't let her lose her appetite for you. The only way you fail is by accepting failure. And I know that's not even an option, right? So does size matter? Whatever will we talk about next week?